Oscar winner Robert, as in De Niro, there's only one, has made a career out of playing tough guys.
As young actors, we all looked up to him, and so he was very smart.
Robert De Niro's recent televised appearance turned into a seismic cultural moment as his impassioned critique of the personal life and public image of the newly elected president sent shockwaves through political and entertainment circles alike. On live television, the legendary actor, known for both his distinguished film career and his willingness to speak his mind on contentious issues, delivered a scathing verbal dismantling of the president's carefully crafted image. His pointed remarks questioned not only the authenticity of the president's marriage to Melania, but also the broader claims about personal virtue and moral rectitude that have long been a part of his public persona. The delivery was unapologetic and unreserved, a clear signal that in the realm of public discourse, even the highest offices are not immune to scrutiny when personal integrity is at stake. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The televised confrontation was not simply another media moment. It represented a critical juncture in the intersection of celebrity culture and political power. De Niro's intervention arrived at a time when political narratives are increasingly shaped by personal stories and intimate revelations rather than by policy debates alone. By calling into question the president's marital fidelity and insinuating the presence of extramarital affairs, he was not merely commenting on the state of a personal relationship. He was challenging the very idea that public figures can divorce their personal lives from their professional responsibilities. His statements urged viewers to consider the implications of a leader whose private conduct might diverge sharply from the public image they project, thereby shaking the foundational assumptions about trust and authenticity in governance. The moment unfolded with the energy and intensity that only live television can capture, evoking a spectrum of reactions from audiences who have long harbored polarized views about both the president and the actor. For many, the remarks served as a long overdue reckoning, a reminder that the qualities which endear a leader to the public are not solely measured in political victories or policy successes, but are inextricably linked to their character and personal behavior. The criticism was delivered with a confidence that underscored the actor's belief in accountability, particularly when it comes to the private lives of those in positions of immense power. Such a stance, coming from a figure of De Niro's stature, underscores the evolving expectation that personal misconduct is not a private matter, but a subject of public concern when it has the potential to undermine leadership credibility. The cultural significance of the event cannot be overstated. It stands as a vivid example of how personal narratives can alter the political landscape, drawing attention to the fact that public trust hinges on more than just policy platforms. The president's public persona, carefully constructed over years through strategic messaging and media appearances, faced a formidable challenge when confronted with an accusation that struck at the core of his image as a family man and a paragon of traditional values. De Niro's intervention forced the public to reassess the notion that political leadership is solely about decision-making in the realm of governance. It is equally about embodying the virtues that society expects from those who hold such esteemed positions. The actor's criticisms, therefore, tapped into broader societal concerns regarding the relationship between personal morality and the ethical responsibilities of public officials. In analyzing the event, one must consider the broader historical context of celebrity involvement in political discourse. Throughout history, actors and cultural icons have used their platforms to influence public opinion and to hold those in power accountable. De Niro's approach in this instance was both a continuation of that legacy and a reflection of a modern media landscape where the lines between entertainment and political commentary have blurred significantly. The spectacle of a celebrated actor publicly challenging the personal integrity of a sitting leader is emblematic of an era where the personal and the political are increasingly intertwined. This convergence has created a dynamic in which personal vulnerabilities can be leveraged as tools for political critique, reshaping the expectations of what is deemed acceptable behavior from those who occupy influential positions. The television screen became a stage for a dramatic confrontation that was as much about symbolism as it was about substance. De Niro's criticism was aimed not merely at exposing alleged personal failings, but but at highlighting a deeper hypocrisy that many perceived in the president's public narrative. For years, the president had projected an image of unwavering commitment to traditional values and a stable family life, a narrative that resonated deeply with a significant segment of the electorate. However, the actor's direct challenge to this narrative suggested that the polished veneer might be hiding a more complicated reality. The public nature of the rebuke amplified its impact, as it compelled viewers to confront the dissonance between the image of a leader and the complexities of real human behavior. The televised moment was a call to examine whether the personal shortcomings of a leader could, or should, affect the legitimacy of their public service. At the heart of the event lay a tension between the ideal of public accountability and the reality of personal imperfection. The debate that emerged from the confrontation touched upon the fundamental question of whether personal indiscretions should disqualify an individual from holding high office. De Niro's commentary brought to light the persistent cultural belief that a leader's private behavior is a mirror of their public responsibilities. In doing so, he underscored a crucial aspect of democratic leadership. The trust is built on a foundation of both competence and moral integrity. By alleging that the president's personal life was fraught with issues that contradicted the values he espoused, the actor effectively challenged the idea that public service can be divorced from personal accountability. This approach resonated with those who argue that leaders must embody the principles they advocate, a perspective that has only grown in importance in an age marked by increasing public scrutiny. The event also underscored the power of media in framing political narratives. Live television, with its immediacy and wide reach, has the unique ability to shape public perception in real time. The broadcast of the confrontation ensured that the message reached a vast audience, stirring emotions and sparking debates across social and political lines. The dramatic delivery and the raw emotion captured on camera added layers of complexity to the discourse, making it clear that the issue was not simply a matter of personal scandal, but a reflection of larger societal challenges. In an era where every word and gesture is amplified by the media, such moments serve as a reminder that the personal is inherently political, and that the private lives of leaders are never truly separate from the public responsibilities they shoulder. The reverberations of the televised moment extend into the realms of cultural symbolism and the evolving expectations of public figures. De Niro's criticisms can be seen as a manifestation of a broader cultural shift in which the traditional boundaries between celebrity and political authority are being dismantled. This intersection has given rise to a new form of public discourse, where the lines between entertainment and politics are no longer clearly defined. The actor's intervention symbolized a challenge to the established order, a challenge that questioned the sanctity of public image and called for a more transparent evaluation of character in leadership. The event highlighted how, in today's society, the personal failings of a leader can quickly become the focal point of national debate, with implications that extend far beyond the immediate moment of confrontation. In reflecting on the implications of the event, it is important to consider the broader cultural narrative surrounding leadership and personal morality. The public's fascination with the personal lives of political figures is not a recent phenomenon. It has deep historical roots in the way societies have always held their leaders to a higher standard. However, the advent of modern media and the rise of celebrity culture have intensified this scrutiny, making it nearly impossible for public figures to maintain a clear boundary between their private and public lives. The televised exchange served as a powerful illustration of this reality, forcing audiences to grapple with the notion that a leader's personal conduct is a matter of public interest. By daring to expose and criticize aspects of the president's personal life, De Niro tapped into a long-standing tradition of moral accountability in leadership, a tradition that insists that those in power must be held to standards that reflect the values of the society they serve. The moment also sparked a deeper reflection on the role of personal narrative in shaping public opinion. The president's carefully cultivated image had long been bolstered by a narrative that emphasized strength, stability, and adherence to traditional family values. Yet the public airing of personal criticisms disrupted that narrative, introducing an element of vulnerability that many found both surprising and unsettling. The implications of this disruption are profound, as they challenged the notion that public figures can seamlessly compartmentalize their personal and professional lives. Instead, the event revealed that the two realms are inextricably linked, with personal behavior invariably coloring public perception and influencing political legitimacy. The actor's bold intervention thus served as a reminder that the integrity of a leader's character is not something that can be neatly separated from their ability to govern effectively. The cultural impact of the event also extends to the realm of public expectations regarding transparency and honesty. In an age where information is ubiquitous and every facet of a public figure's life is subject to intense scrutiny, the idea that personal secrets can remain hidden for the sake of a constructed image is increasingly untenable. The televised critique by De Niro challenged the status quo, suggesting that true leadership requires not only the ability to make sound policy decisions, but also the willingness to be transparent about one's personal life. This call for greater honesty resonates with a public that has grown weary of polished political performances and is eager for leaders who display genuine authenticity. The confrontation, therefore, was not merely a personal attack, but a broader appeal for a reimagining of what it means to be a public servant in the modern era. A call for leaders to embody the values they claim to uphold in every aspect of their lives. Analyzing the language and tone used during the broadcast reveals a strategic use of rhetoric designed to leave a lasting impression. De Niro's approach was marked by a deliberate choice of words that evoked both empathy and indignation. His criticism, while forceful, was imbued with an undercurrent of disappointment, a sense that the divergence between public statements and private actions was not just a personal failing, but a betrayal of public trust. This rhetorical strategy served to frame the discussion not simply as a debate over personal morality, but as a critical commentary on the responsibilities that come with wielding power. The emotion behind the words was palpable, and the intensity of the delivery underscored the conviction that personal integrity is an indispensable quality for anyone entrusted with public office. In a media landscape increasingly dominated by superficial sound bites, the depth and passion of the actor's remarks set a standard for what it means to engage in meaningful political discourse. The televised moment further highlighted the complexities of balancing personal freedom with the demands of public life. For many, the idea that a leader's private indiscretions could become fodder for public debate is a troubling reminder of the sacrifices that come with holding high office. Yet it also raises critical questions about the nature of accountability in a democratic society. The confrontation forced viewers to confront the uncomfortable reality that no one is immune to scrutiny, regardless of their status or position. In this context, the actor's intervention can be seen as an assertion of the public's right to demand transparency from its leaders, a demand that is both a hallmark of democratic values and a necessary check on the concentration of power. By placing the president's personal life under the microscope, the event redefined the boundaries of acceptable public discourse and reaffirmed the principle that the personal conduct of those in power is a legitimate subject of national concern. Within the broader cultural context, the event represents a confluence of art, politics, and media in a way that few moments in recent history have managed to capture. It is a vivid illustration of how public figures can transcend their traditional roles and become catalysts for wider societal debates. The actor's willingness to challenge a powerful political figure on matters of personal integrity is emblematic of a shifting paradigm in which cultural commentary is not confined to the realms of film and entertainment, but is increasingly interwoven with the fabric of political life. This blending of domains has far-reaching implications for how society understands and evaluates leadership. When a celebrated actor steps into the political arena with such unbridled candor, it serves as a potent reminder that the qualities that define effective leadership are not limited to policy expertise or administrative competence. They also encompass the ethical dimensions of personal behavior and character. There is also a striking symbolic dimension to the encounter that merits careful consideration. The confrontation between an established cultural icon and a polarizing political figure is charged with a sense of historical irony, a reminder that the cultural elite have long played a role in shaping the moral standards of society. The actor's remarks were not simply an isolated instance of celebrity commentary. They were part of a broader dialogue about the responsibilities of power and the expectations that society places on its leaders. In challenging the president's claims to a stable and honorable personal life, De Niro was tapping into a deep well of cultural tradition that insists on a clear separation between public virtue and private vice. This symbolism resonates strongly in a time when the personal lives of leaders are increasingly scrutinized, and it invites viewers to reconsider the values that underpin the social contract between a nation and its elected representatives. The implications of this televised moment also extend to the dynamics of political polarization. In an era marked by sharp ideological divides, the actor's intervention served as a flashpoint that amplified existing tensions while also opening the door for a broader conversation about accountability and integrity. For those already critical of the president, the remarks validated long-held suspicions about the disconnect between public posturing and private behavior. Conversely, for supporters who view such criticisms as partisan attacks, the event reinforced the belief that political discourse has become overly personal and divisive. This duality underscores the complex nature of contemporary political debates, where even a single moment on television can become a lightning rod for wider cultural and ideological conflicts. The event, therefore, is emblematic of the challenges inherent in navigating a political landscape where personal character and public policy are inextricably linked. Examining the broader societal implications, it becomes clear that the confrontation is not merely about one individual's personal life, but about the values that define leadership in modern society. The actor's intervention compelled the public to grapple with the notion that authenticity and moral clarity are as crucial to effective governance as are technical competence and strategic acumen. This perspective challenges the conventional wisdom that separates personal indiscretions from public responsibilities, suggesting instead that the two realms are fundamentally connected. In this light, the televised moment can be seen as a call for a more holistic understanding of leadership, one that recognizes that the personal virtues of a leader are an integral part of the trust that citizens place in them. The confrontation thus raises profound questions about the nature of public service and the ethical standards that should govern those who aspire to lead. The event also provides an opportunity to reflect on the power dynamics between cultural figures and political leaders. In a society where the influence of celebrity is both pervasive and enduring, the actor's willingness to step into the political fray represents a significant moment of cultural resistance. It is a reminder that public figures from the world of arts and entertainment possess a unique ability to challenge dominant narratives and to shine a light on issues that might otherwise be overlooked. By leveraging his cultural capital, the actor not only called into question the integrity of a political figure, but also contributed to a larger discourse about the responsibilities of those who hold power. This interplay between celebrity and politics has the potential to redefine how public accountability is enforced, suggesting that moral and ethical scrutiny is not the exclusive domain of journalists and politicians, but can also be effectively undertaken by those from the cultural sphere. The confrontation's impact on the collective imagination is profound, as it forces society to reconsider its expectations of personal conduct among its leaders. The public's response to the event highlights the deep-seated belief that leadership is as much about character as it is about competence. When the private lives of those in power are brought into the public arena, the resulting debate becomes a reflection of society's broader values and aspirations. The actor's forthright challenge served as a catalyst for this reflection, prompting viewers to ask whether the traits that are celebrated in public figures should extend to every aspect of their lives. This introspection is particularly resonant in a political climate where personal narratives are increasingly scrutinized and where the boundaries between the personal and the political have become indistinguishable. This dramatic moment unfolding on the primetime stage of live television is a microcosm of the evolving relationship between culture and politics in today's society. It serves as a stark reminder that in an age of pervasive media and heightened public scrutiny, the personal lives of those who lead are not immune from debate. The confrontation compelled viewers to confront the reality that the integrity of a leader is not measured solely by policy or rhetoric, but also by the values they embody in their personal conduct. In questioning the president's fidelity, and by extension, his commitment to the ideals he claims to uphold, the actor set in motion a conversation that touches upon the very foundations of democratic accountability. The televised moment is a testament to the enduring power of cultural commentary to shape political narratives and to challenge the status quo. The interplay between personal vulnerability and public expectation revealed during this broadcast has significant implications for the future of political discourse. It calls into question the long-standing belief that the personal and the political can exist in separate spheres, instead highlighting how deeply intertwined they truly are. The actor's refusal to shy away from discussing intimate details of a leader's personal life forces a reckoning with the notion that personal character is a critical component of political legitimacy. This realization may well influence how political campaigns are conducted in the future, as voters increasingly demand a level of transparency and authenticity that leaves little room for hidden personal flaws or moral contradictions. By bringing this contentious issue to the forefront of public debate, the televised confrontation has irrevocably altered the landscape of political discourse. It has demonstrated that in the modern era, no aspect of a public figure's life is off-limits to scrutiny, and that the personal behaviors of leaders are in fact a reflection of their overall fitness to govern. The actor's uncompromising stance and his willingness to confront a powerful political figure in such a public forum serve as a powerful reminder that moral accountability remains an essential criterion for leadership. In a time when political narratives are often dominated by carefully constructed images and sanitized public relations, this raw and unfiltered display of criticism is a bold assertion of the public's right to demand honesty and integrity from its leaders. The resonance of this moment will likely persist in public memory as a turning point in the ongoing dialogue about leadership, morality, and the responsibilities of those who hold power. It challenges entrenched notions about the separation of personal and political spheres and invites a re-evaluation of what it means to lead with both competence and character. The event stands as a clarion call for a future in which the personal conduct of leaders is seen as an integral part of their public service. A future where transparency and authenticity are not only expected, but required for the trust that sustains democratic governance. In this way, the confrontation transcends the specifics of the moment, becoming a symbol of a broader cultural shift that places ethical leadership at the forefront of public expectations. In the final analysis, the confrontation on live television serves as a compelling case study of how personal narratives can disrupt and redefine political realities. It is an event that underscores the inescapable truth that leadership is not solely the domain of policy and governance, but is also deeply embedded in the realm of personal conduct and moral responsibility. By challenging the president's claims to an unblemished personal image, the actor ignited a discourse that forces society to reconsider the qualities that are essential for effective leadership. The broadcast is a reminder that in today's media-saturated environment, the private lives of those in power are subject to the same rigorous scrutiny as their public actions, and that this scrutiny can have profound implications for the legitimacy of political authority. The cultural, political, and social reverberations of this televised moment are complex and multifaceted, touching upon themes that have long been debated in democratic societies. It calls into question the assumption that public figures can maintain a clear divide between their personal and professional lives, and it challenges the prevailing narrative that a sanitized public image is sufficient to justify a position of power. Instead, it emphasizes that the values that underpin effective leadership must be reflected in every aspect of a leader's life, both public and private. This realization is likely to influence how future political leaders are perceived and evaluated as the demand for authenticity and moral accountability grows ever stronger in the eyes of the public. The event, marked by its passionate delivery and unyielding scrutiny, thus stands as an enduring symbol of a cultural shift, a shift that redefines the relationship between personal behavior and public service, and that insists on a level of integrity that is indispensable for the preservation of trust in democratic institutions. The televised confrontation is a moment that will be remembered not only for its dramatic impact, but also for the profound questions it raises about what it truly means to lead in an era where personal and public lives are inextricably linked. This development introduces an entirely fresh chapter in the evolving dynamics of political communication and cultural influence. The televised confrontation not only challenged established narratives, but also illustrated a new model of public discourse where traditional hierarchies of authority are reimagined. In a climate where social media and digital platforms amplify every gesture and remark, the demonstration of candid critique by a prominent cultural figure sets a precedent for how personal narratives might be harnessed as tools for political commentary. The event reconfigures the parameters of acceptable public behavior, highlighting that the arena of personal life is no longer a private domain shielded from public interrogation. Instead, it is a vibrant space where authenticity and vulnerability become potent forces in shaping public opinion. The broadcast has simultaneously underscored a dramatic shift in the public's engagement with political figures. In earlier eras, the sanctity of personal life was often held as sacrosanct, with a strong demarcation maintained between the personal and the political. However, the current landscape suggests that the division is rapidly dissolving. As viewers witness an eminent actor dissecting the nuances of personal conduct on a live platform, a new paradigm emerges, one in which the perceived credibility of leaders is intricately linked to every facet of their private existence. This not only forces political figures to re-examine the image they project, but also signals to the public that personal accountability is as crucial as policy acumen. The shift has profound implications for the future trajectory of political messaging and the strategies employed by public figures who must now contend with the inevitability of their personal actions being placed under a relentless spotlight. At a deeper level, the incident illuminates how cultural icons have come to occupy spaces traditionally reserved for political commentators. The actor's unyielding stance reflects a broader cultural movement where the tools of cinema and performance are repurposed to interrogate the practices of power. This new model of commentary brings with it an expectation of moral and ethical rigor, one that compels those in power to demonstrate not only their ability to govern, but also to live in accordance with the values they profess. The boundaries that once isolated the art of performance from the rigor of political analysis are fading, ushering in an era where expressive critique and policy evaluation are mutually reinforcing. In this context, every televised moment becomes a powerful artifact, imbued with the capacity to reshape public consciousness and alter the metrics by which leadership is judged. Moreover, the incident serves as a magnifying lens through which the contemporary political landscape can be examined. It is a vivid reminder that public figures, regardless of their domain of influence, are now held accountable for every dimension of their identity. The scrutiny applied in this case is indicative of a broader transformation in how societies value transparency and personal integrity. The willingness of a revered actor to delve into the intricacies of another public figure's private life on such a grand stage invites a re-evaluation of the role that character plays in governance. It compels an honest debate about the fundamental expectations placed on leaders and encourages an environment where the cost of personal indiscretions is measured not just in political terms, but also in the currency of public trust. In essence, the moment encapsulates a turning point where the intersection of culture, media, and politics becomes a crucible for new standards of accountability. It illustrates that the modern public sphere is not only prepared to witness raw, unmediated revelations, but also to redefine the benchmarks for what constitutes responsible leadership. This transformative shift marks an era where personal narratives and public policy are seamlessly interwoven, demanding an unprecedented level of candor and self-examination from those who lead. Emerging narratives now explore innovative paradigms wherein cultural influence redefines conventional authority. The provocative intervention catalyzed discussion among scholars analyzing evolving media dynamics and novel accountability frameworks. Researchers note that shifting public sentiment encourages leaders to embrace introspection and policy transparency while acknowledging vulnerabilities. In academic circles, the incident inspires theories regarding integration of performance art with political commentary. This fresh perspective fuels interdisciplinary research and creative public discourse, inviting collaborations among sociologists, media critics, and political theorists. Enthusiasts celebrate the unprecedented intersection, anticipating a bright future where artistic expression transforms political legitimacy, empowering citizens to demand genuine ethical commitment. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Robert De Niro's comments about Trump's marriage and affairs? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.